Hey y'all, welcome back to Low Luxury, the channel where this guy right here, shows you at home what authentic luxury clothing and streetwear looks like. And today we are going to be taking a look at an absolutely fucking stunning piece of clothing, okay? So this one is by the brand Opening Ceremony. So they are an American-based brand, and probably the most interesting thing about them is that they are owned by Umberto Leone and Carol Lim, who were previously the head designers for Kenzo Paris. So, they kind of spearheaded that brand and blew them up into the stratosphere and are kind of probably the reason we all know Kenzo today. But they moved on from Kenzo, but they are still doing Opening Ceremony. And Opening Ceremony stuff, I would say, has a really similar vibe, kind of colorful, playful, but also very cool. And I have probably their most coveted, recognizable staple piece for the brand, which is their Varsity Jacket. So this one you can see right off the bat, there are so many incredible details here. Like, I'm just so excited to show you guys this thing. So, let's not dilly-dally, let's check this thing out. But first, I've looked into it, and a very, very small percentage of you are actually subscribed to the channel. It's completely free. Just press that button, and you will not regret it. Thank you so much. Well, ain't she a beaut? Look at that thing. Look at that fucking jacket, you guys. This is one of the coolest jackets I've ever owned in my life, and I'm so excited to show you everything about it. But first, as we always do, we gotta take a look at those retail tags that come with it. So as you can see, this guy is just a matte black piece of cardboard, quite thick though, like you can't really bend it at all or anything like that. And then embossed on there, you can feel every single one of those letters as well as this frame. So this is embossed in black, glossy black. You've got the Opening Ceremony logo print, and obviously you've got that square frame going all the way around, and then established 2002. Take a look at that font, the spacing, everything like that, because that's going to be consistent everywhere we see it. And the back of this guy is blank, except for our sticker here, which is always a good thing to see. So this sticker is essentially identical to the stickers that you'll see on Off-White or Palm Angels clothing. It's by the same kind of parent company. So we've got a barcode up top, and then we've got our model number, and you can always look that up. And if your model comes up, that's a very good sign. If some other model comes up, not a very good sign. Then you've got the model name, Varsity Jacket, Deep Eggplant. Love me a good deep eggplant. And then brand name, Opening Ceremony. And finally, off on the right, we've got a size. It's in Italian sizing, in this case 46, or roughly equivalent to a small. And then also attached to that, we have this much thinner piece of matte white cardstock. And this logo, again, is embossed. You can feel both the Opening Ceremony and the established 2002. However, underneath, this print is not embossed. It's just printed on there so you can't feel those letters. So this one, it's just explaining the Serta logo process. And so there is a code on here that you can look up, and that's probably the best way to figure out whether your piece is authentic or not, is to use the Serta logo. And of course, you can also see the backside of that embossing coming through here from that logo print. And we've also got a very, very thin piece of paper here, which is talking about the RFID tag on it. And the other side of that has the same thing in, I believe, Italian. And finally here, yours may or may not have this. More likely than not, it won't have this. But here they included the retailer's tag. So I got this from Harrods, which is a UK kind of luxury clothing store. So they've also included their tag here. So obviously not necessary, but always a good sign. And these are all tied together with this relatively coarse black string that goes right up to a black safety pin through the brand tag at the back of the neck. Speaking of which, we got to take a look at that brand tag now. So this is a fairly large embroidered tag. It's like a very soft fabric here, white obviously, and then with black text stitched in. And interestingly, this is kind of like debossed, so you can feel the letters going inwards there, as well as the established 2002. And this is stitched in on all four sides with horizontal stitches, and those look like that eggplant color that you get on the body of the jacket as well. And if we turn that over to look at the back side of it, it's the exact same thing, just with the inverse colors, so white on black instead of black on white. And under that tag, in the exact same material, we've got the country of origin tag. In this case, it's made in Italy. These are big, bold letters. They also kind of go inwards into the fabric. And again, horizontal stitches in all four corners. And this is the exact same size going across as the main tag above it, just obviously much, much thinner. Now we got to take a look at the care tags that are inside the jacket. Ooh, spooky inside the jacket. Why am I doing this? That's so lame, I'm sorry. So the tags here would be on your left side if you were wearing the jacket. And they are very, very glossy. As you can see, like a glossy silver white kind of plastic polyester tags. They are loop tags folded over like this, as you can see. And there are quite a few of them to get through here. So let's get into it. So at the very top of the first one, again, you've got that opening ceremony logo print. And then you get the model number in bold, smaller print, and that matches exactly with the model number that was on the sticker on the retail tag. If yours don't match, it's a bad sign. Under that, we've got our size chart, again, 46, and that matches. You can see the 46 is bolder than the size right there. And you get into the fabrication. So this one, 54% virgin wool. You love that. And then polyester, of course. Fabric 2, and that is like the croc leather for the sleeves, I believe. So that one is, what is that, 85% polyurethane. And then we follow that over to the back side, and then it's polyester and viscose. The lining is pure polyester, and the ribbing is acrylic wool and polyamide. Oh, and elastane. Can't forget the elastane. So as you can see, there are a ton of fabrics in this piece. There's so much stuff going on. And it's got the padding, of course. And then we get into our washing instructions. So you've got your symbols up there. There are 5 of them. And then washing instructions in English, kind of left justified, like a paragraph there. And then French, I don't know, languages, not my strong suit. And we follow that over to the next one. You get into the Asian languages and Arabic. Then you've got a bit of open space at the bottom there. And then now we're centered this text, and this is talking about the washing only at specialized laundries for leather and or fur garments. Interesting. And again, you've got that in all those languages and some blank space at the bottom. And the back side of that one is blank. And this final tag here is the only one that is not a loop tag. So this is just a single tag here, and this has the company information, so OC Italy, Opening Ceremony Italy, their address, and then all caps, again, made in Italy, and their logo down at the bottom. And the back of that guy's blank. And these ones have no visible stitches or anything because they're stitched right into that side seam of the lining inside the jacket. And then just below that, we also have like an embroidered tag here, which is the Serta logo tag. So my finger right here is covering up the QR code, which you could just scan with your phone, and it'll tell you if your piece is real or not. So that's a great thing to do if it's available. Sometimes people cut off these tags, whatever, it's not readable anymore. I get it, but if that's available, that's your best chance to tell real versus fake. And even if the QR code is like faded or not working, they even give you a number right here, which again, my finger's covering up, which you can just enter in and check that as well. So now finally it is time to check out all of the crazy, amazing details of this varsity jacket. Where to even begin? I guess we'll just start with the body right here, the deep eggplant as they call it. So as we saw in the care tags, this is primarily virgin wool, and it's very kind of, like fluffed and fuzzy. So it's almost like, it's like a felt essentially, which is really, really cool. Of course, the sleeves, the fabrication on those is also very much a standout piece here. So this is like faux croc leather. As we saw, it's, I think, polyurethane. So it's quite thin, but it's got that, of course, croc leather texture to it. And then the neck is this really, really nice double-layered, ribbed kind of stripe pattern here. And that also exists at the cuffs and at the hem, so it really grabs you nice and tight, which I love. Now let's take a look at some of these patches here. So at the chest, you have OC, of course, for opening ceremony. And this guy right here is almost like a towel or carpet texture. Like it really puffs out here, but then it's kind of flatter here. So it's really the lettering, the white, that pops out like that. And these are stitched in really, really cleanly and closely to the lettering itself, so you can barely even see it. And the cuts of these patches are also super clean and not rough at all, so keep an eye out for stuff like that. Under this pocket, we've got another patch right here, and this one is established 2002, and this does not pop out as much, the white. It's kind of a bit softer, I would say. Also good to point out that these pockets right here, they are fake pockets, but they give that kind of croc leather detailing as well, so that's something good to point out. And you can also see that the angle of this patch perfectly matches the pocket opening. Underneath the pocket on the other side, you have another OC patch in like a diamond shape here. And again, this one is similar to the established 2002 patch, where nothing puffs out like the main patch up top. But if you thought the detailing on the front was cool, the back of this jacket takes it to a whole new level, because look at that. It takes up the entire back of the piece, and it is just so striking and so sick. Oh my God. So up top, we've got opening, right? And you can see that the stitches go over the white pieces around the edges, so they give it like a fuzziness, but they're also keeping it in place by stitching it down, so it's really, really cool. And then underneath that, you've got this torch here as well, and you can see how clean this is. The lines, like look at those, and the color really pops. It's like a beautiful, beautiful orange red. And then we've got opening ceremony here as well, and this is just kind of, you can see the texture of this. It's a very smooth, maybe polyester here in the black. And actually the opening ceremony print here, it feels like it was screen printed on, so that's just a print there, it's not stitched in. And then of course finally at the bottom we've got ceremony, and that is in the same treatment as opening up top. This piece uses metal snap buttons, which is great, and they actually have opening ceremony pressed into them. And the inside of the jacket, as you can see, is fully lined in a nice soft glossy black, like I'm guessing polyester or something like that. And one last thing I do want to point out is this like felt wool material is very tough to work with, but even so, the stitching is very, very clean and not wonky at all. So again, look out for stuff like that. If there's any noticeable mistakes, it's really not a good sign. And I'd also like to point out that while the pockets on the front are fake, they're just for show, there is an inner pocket for you to actually store your stuff, and it is real. So this one, again, it has that croc leather around the edges of it. And you've got a silver YKK zipper, which is always a good sign of quality. And that goes right in there. There's a bit of the felt for the lip, and then it's the lining material inside. So now that we've checked all of that out, let's try this piece on to see how it feels and see how it fits. Alright, first let's talk about the fit of this piece. And this was the first opening ceremony piece I'd ever bought, so I was actually quite concerned about how it would fit. I got a size 46, which is a small, but for a lot of brands, a 46 can be very tight. So I was actually a bit worried that I'd have to return it, but no, it is a perfect fit. So I usually wear a size small. I'm a true to size small, and that is what this fits like to me. The sleeve length is absolutely impeccable, exactly where I would want it to be. The body is actually a bit roomy. It's a bit boxy, but that's really as it should be for a varsity jacket like this. But then it really grabs you nice and tight with that elasticated hem, the ribbed one right there, and it just grabs you nice and tight, so you get this kind of big billowy fit. I don't know, it's really cool. It makes me feel like the captain of the football team back in, I never played football in my goddamn life, but hey, now I'm the popular kid, I'm the homecoming queen, and it's so sick. Did I just call myself the homecoming queen? Hey, probably closer than the homecoming king, right? Anyway, this piece, also the wool, so it's mostly virgin wool, and this piece is way warmer than it has like any right to be. Like I'm nice and toasty in here right now. It's perfect. So I don't know, this piece, it really doesn't get much better. It's ideal. It's everything I wanted out of this piece, and it doesn't hurt that it looks great too. So that is how you tell the difference between real and fake opening ceremony clothing. Take a look at the other video on screen here, subscribe to my channel, like this video, and I'll see you next time.